Hey friends, I want to talk to you about this amazing essential oils pocket reference. This happens to be the 7th edition. I know currently right now they're probably on the 8th edition, but just a couple of things that I wanted to show you that might be of really great help for you. When you open them up, I have done all kinds of different things about just marking things up. You can read the table of contents for your own enjoyment. But if you're diving in and you're not going to read this book from, cover to cover, there's a couple of different things I want you to know. First of all, when they talk about the purity and the amazing essential oils that Young Living uses, this book is very Young Living based. It will talk about the blends and that are specific in the single oils that are specific to what Young Living carries. So starting with chapter 4, they start with all the single oils, and what it will do is, let's just jump right in. So here I'm looking at blue cypress. It talks about in the past of how they've used it in a medicinal way, different types of uses. Now, I will tell you, before you start reading this is completely non-compliant. So I'm kind of hiding some of this because I don't want this video kicked off. If you have this resource, you can completely read it for yourself. But it will talk to you about different directions and other things and where it's extracted, so on and so forth. Same thing goes through, and of course there's pictures. There's the newest updated one is in color, which is pretty awesome. But then when you get to chapter 5, you will get to the oil blends, and again, these are blends that are very specific to Young Living. So you're not going to find different brands blends in here. They talk about the different codes that they've got going on here. Talking about abundance. So abundance, this blend exemplifies the power of energy or synergy. What is in this blend specifically? So if you were trying to find why do I love abundance so much? Oh, it might be the clove or the myrrh or whatever the case. Obviously, it doesn't tell you how much of each component is in there, but it's really great to know maybe what is in there that you love so much, or what you're reacting to. If you're like, ooh, I really don't like that smell. Oh, that might be the patchouli. My nose just typically doesn't like patchouli, or whatever. I don't know. It's helpful for that. They also give directions. They don't necessarily say exactly what it's for. I mean, you kind of go about the name, and that kind of really does help. Like digest, we talk about this blend relieves, helps support your digestive system, so on and so forth. So sometimes yes, and then other times it's like, no, don't understand that. They talk about the different VitaFlex techniques as you go along this book. I'm really actually going very quickly through all of this. So I want to get to the application guidelines. For me, this is kind of in the middle of my book, but more importantly, when they get to after the guide, they talk about application guidelines. And then right there is the quick usage guide. Again, this is completely 100% not compliant. So I'm not going to really show any deep, if anything in here, because I don't honestly want to get this video kicked off. But I want to show you one big thing that I try to tell all my members. You can see all my different recipes, my favorite ones that I've had in the back. How to use this that most people are going to look at. So in the back of the book is an index, and you can see you can look up different oils. Like this Tummy Dries is a blend, and so the one that's in bold is going to give you the most pertinent information about that particular one. Or I was just talking to a member about spider bites. She got a spider bite and she's wanting to support her skin. So we didn't find it under spider. We didn't find it under bug bite. But we did, if you keep going and going and going, we found it under bites. Now, like I was telling this member, the friend of mine, look at all these pages that talk about bites. probably having to do with animals, having to do with humans, but then the main page that I'm going to look at is the one that is bold right there. And so page 278 to 280, those are going to be kind of where I'm going to look, and let's take a look at those. Sorry, I know this kind of looks weird when I'm flipping pages here. So hold on. I should have bookmarked it for you so you could see. So actually, if you look at page 277 is the one that they should have bolded, but I know why they did it, because right down here, it starts here at the bottom. Talks about insect bites and stings. It talks about what that is. So for example, if I was looking at for things that would help with influenza, what is influenza? I've never heard of that, or maybe I heard of that, but I don't know what it is. It usually defines it for you. So this one I figured is pretty compliant. So talking about how to support your skin with insect bites and stings. And then they just talk about some generalities. But once you turn the page, that's where they get specific. So they talk about just like stings and bites, like a roller blend you can make. Not every suggestion in here has roller blend options. There's bee stings, there's bites, there's bed bug bites up here at the top, there's a black widow bite, there's brown recluse spiders, chiggers and ticks, so on and so forth. So let's just say we're talking about, and in fact it even goes on like a couple more pages. So West Nile virus, how to support your body for that. Mosquito bites. Let's just go to mosquito bites. And it says right here, for most people, a mosquito bite causes minor irritation. However, if you're allergic, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's look here. So it will talk about recommendations first with the singles that they have. So singles are single oils. So when I say peppermint oil, that only has peppermint in it, right? It's not a blend. And if you notice, these are not in alphabetical order, and there's a reason for that. Most people will find support and relief through peppermint because it's listed first. That's why it's listed first, because that is probably, if you have it, great. If you're like, oh, I'm out of peppermint, I just ran out of it 2 days ago, then move on to the next one that might be helpful for you. Tea tree, lavender. Lavender is very calming versus tea tree is really great, like a cleansing property. Frankincense is very healing oriented. So anyway, these all do different things, but they're kind of listed more in a priority. So like here's the blends. And then they tell you about different ways that you can topically use it. You can talk about, oh, and it goes up to West Nile virus. So this one doesn't happen to have any roller possibilities or anything like that. It's actually pretty short. This is it for this one. So if I were this person, obviously this would be something that I put on my skin if I have a mosquito bite versus diffusing. And then I would use it that way. That's just me personally. So I just wanted to share that with you, how to get into this book, how to read it, why things are not in alphabetical order. There is a reason for that. Like if you look over here in the insect repellent, they help support your body by repelling them naturally. There's all different kinds of blends, and you're like, well, what if I don't have citronella? Then maybe come over here and try to use Palo Santo or use something else that's up there and listed up there. You can make your own blend, but these are ones that have been kind of tested and tried and true. You can see there's a couple of people's names who are kind of well known, and those are the ones that they've come up with. So hope that's helpful for you in learning how to better use your essential oil pocket reference or even your desk reference.